Good morning, my friends. Lovely to see you this lovely sunny San Diego Tuesday morning. And yes, the sun's back again. It's cold in the evenings and the early morning, but it's gloriously sunny later on. I know, I'm really, really lucky, and I do appreciate it. My name, for those of you who don't know me, have not been here before, is Andrea Kuchin. And we are My Home Biz Tips. That's myhomebiz.tips, because TIPS stands for Training, Inspiration, Products and Services. And that's what we do. Or it stands for Tools and Ideas that Produce Success, which is what we want, right? So today we're talking about chickens and eggs. You've heard it before, I'm very, very sure. What came first, the chicken or the egg? And I have a suspicion that since the beginning of time, people have been asking that question. And you know what? Nobody's answered it yet. But this is metaphorical. This isn't really chickens and this isn't really eggs. What is it? It's action and mindset. Okay. I subscribe to a lot of mailing lists. I have worked with a number of different coaches over the years, and I stay connected to them, and I stay connected to people they recommend, and people that I've worked with, and people that I've introduced you to, like the 30 odd amazing female business owners that I interviewed for the Mama Millionaires series. So I'm very aware of what's going on in the coaching world. And at the beginning of this year, there was a very slight change in the way that people were presenting their opportunities. Excuse me, I've got over warm in my fur jacket. It got a little bit warmer than I was expecting. Okay, so in the past, even last year and definitely the year before, in January, when it was all about let's set goals and let's get things done and let's work on our business and everything, it was very much about action and what we were going to do. And you have to do Facebook ads, or you have to do meetings, or you have to do this or that, and, you know, get a blog and send emails and do YouTube videos and do Facebook groups and all that kind of stuff. This is what you have to do. And this year, there's been a distinct change. I've been listening to people like, Russell Brunson, for example, comes to mind. And David Bayer, I'm working with him on something at the moment. And it's about mindset. It's all about looking at your business from a different point of view. Looking at your business from the point of view of where am I now? What do I want to achieve? What's the difference between where I am now and what I want to achieve? Okay, so where I am now is whatever it is. You might be in an MLM and you made, I don't know, you've got, you signed up a couple of people and you've made, $100, something. And where you want it to be, which is regularly, consistently making 10 grand a month, right? These two things. Now, these are two different people, because the person who's making $100 and the person who's making $5,000 are not the same. Doesn't matter what business it is. You could be a coach and the same would apply. There is a difference between the person who makes $100 and the person who makes $500. You might be selling earrings that you made yourself. You might be offering VA services. You might be coaching, or it doesn't matter what it is you're doing. The point is, there's a huge business that you don't have. Otherwise, I guess you wouldn't be listening to me. And there's a small business that you do have, right? How do you marry the two? How do you turn the small business, which is where you are right now, into the big business, which is what you dream about? Okay. So the teaching filtering through this season has been the person who runs the $5,000 a month or $50,000 a month or $500,000 a month is not the same person as the person who's making $50 a month, right? When you upgrade to 500 a month, the person who makes 5,000 is still different. When you upgrade to 5,000, The person who's making 50,000 is still different. In other words, you need to change yourself in order to be able to build the business that you want to build, right? So that's the teaching. It used to be, this is the action you have to take. And now it's changed to, this is the person you need to be. In other words, what you need to work on is in here, right? So we have what comes first, taking action and building your business, which could be the chicken. I can use that later, so I'm going to go with that. Or how do I have to think? In other words, the mindset, which could be the egg. Okay. Oh, I can use that. Oh, my mind's going crazy now with ideas. Right. Let's go to the chicken. Let's go to the action of the steps that you have to take, because this is brilliant. I love the way this is coming together. This is the thing about doing spontaneous stuff and not prepping and not reading from scripts and things. This is where magic happens. Okay, so we take action. We're encouraged to take action. We're supported. We join accountability groups. We work with accountability coaches. Everything I always talk to you about is something I've either done or taught, or both. In fact, both, because I always teach things I've done, because that's how I know what they are. So, but very often when it comes to taking the steps and doing the thing, interrupted by my phone, we become chicken. We don't do it. We're cowards. We crumble, right? And that is where mindset comes into it, right? The mindset that allows you to take the action that you need to take. That's why mindset, in other words, turning yourself into the person who can make a $50 a month business into a $500 a business, and then the next step to the 5,000, and the next step to the 50,000. Okay? So your mindset is your egg. And when you crack the egg and open up your mindset to the possibilities of what can be created, crikey, then you can do the things that you need to do, right? The actions will follow once the mindset is in place, right? Maybe. Because in order to have a chicken, you have to have an egg. But in order to lay an egg, you have to have a chicken. So does the chicken come first, or does the egg come first, right? Now, if we're thinking of action and mindset in those chicken and egg terms, I've just explained that it seemed to be that you had to take action, and now you're being encouraged to work on your mindset. So the action was the chicken and the mindset is the egg. I'm asking you whether it isn't possible that it goes the other way around. That you actually do have to do, instead of the mindset work first. They're teaching now mindset, mindset, mindset. Then the action will follow. Some people aren't even teaching action anymore. It's all down to mindset, mindset, mindset. So we all agree that they both have to exist, right? Now, if you were to turn it the other way around, that action creates your mindset, then we can go back to doing the action and actually getting some stuff done, instead of spending all this time in our heads, in our minds, trying to create things in a universe that actually doesn't work that way. This universe works on taking action. It's the people who take action that get there. Yes, you have to have the mindset to push, But does the action come first, or does the mindset come first? So here's a true story about something that happened in my life very recently. And yes, my example is going to be my teenage daughter. Yet again, poor child. However, she's a true inspiration to me. Here's the living proof. And of course, as adults, we're not necessarily like teenage children. Or are we? I would suggest that there's actually a lot of similarity with the way that we feel about the world and our mindset, especially at the moment where we're being so squashed and restricted and pushed and bullied and whatnot, and life has changed. I would suggest that we might be more like teenagers than we would normally have been. So let's go with that. So she receives gifts for Christmas. The same applies to birthdays. And my policy, right from as soon as she could talk, was that there has to be a thank you communication that is more than just saying on the phone, oh, thank you ever so much for sending me the so-and-so. Now, when she was tiny, we used to record little videos where she'd show what she'd got and she'd say thank you, or we'd do a series of photographs or something. And then as she got older, I got her to write, and we would put the photographs and the photo of what she'd written in a greeting card, and we would send that. And when it comes to Christmas, I want that done before New Year's Eve. Now, the older that she's got, the more difficult it's become to encourage her to get those letters done, right? And this year was probably the worst year of all, because Christmas came and went, New Year came and went, and she didn't feel like it. And eventually I took control and I said, okay, I don't care how you feel. We have to do this, because I know, and so do all other parents and most business owners, and certainly people running a team, that when you don't do something that you should or ought to be doing, in other words, something that somebody's told you to do or something that you yourself have decided needs to be done, you start to feel bad. This is all about ethics. This is a really big issue. It's one of my favorite subjects, actually, so I ought to talk about it more. But when you say to yourself, I'm going to go to the gym every day, or I'm going to stop eating sugar, or I'm going to give up smoking, or I'm going to go jogging, or I'm going to make 3 phone calls a day to random people and invite them to my business opportunity, or I'm going to post on Facebook every week, or do a network meeting every day for my business. When you say those things to yourself, it's kind of like an agreement. And then if you don't do them, you break an agreement. Now, how do you feel when somebody makes an agreement with you and then breaks it? Not good, right? A little bit of animosity towards the person. There's an upset. There's a not understanding what's going on. Believe it or not, it's exactly the same when you have an agreement with yourself, right? So when she said, yes, I'll do the greeting cards, I'll write the thank you notes, and didn't do it, she started to feel bad about writing the thank you notes. Where does the bad feeling live? In your head, which becomes negative mindset, right? Then the excuses set in. I can't do it because I don't know what to say. I'm not feeling inspired. I can't remember what they gave me. They gave me money and I don't know what I'm going to spend it on. I mean, we don't have any nice photos. Any number of excuses will come. Those will make you feel more bad. Yes, they'll make you feel worse. They won't make you feel good because, phew, now I've been able to justify why I didn't do that thing. No, it doesn't work that way. They make you feel worse. All the time, what is happening is your mindset is getting worse and worse and worse. You are turning yourself into that person who's going to make $5, never mind 50, 500, 5,000 or 50,000. No, you're becoming the person who's actually probably not even going to get out of bed because you're overwhelmed by the fact that you didn't do stuff that you should have done. And you now feel so bad that the effort it takes to get you to do those things is almost too big. And you need a real kick or a real push to get going. Now, on that subject, if that is you, if you do feel like you need a kick, contact me, make an appointment with me. I will kick you very gently, but hard, very lovingly, but forcefully, and help you move forward, help you get over that feeling that you've created that has created a negative mindset with you. You can email me on andrea@myhomebiz.tips. You can, what am I looking for? Telephone number. You can text me on 858-252-1190 or call me. I'm here. I'm charging you for, a fortune for anything. This is just a conversation. Okay. So go ahead, do it. It's not going to hurt you in any way. To get over that initial, I really feel bad about everything right now, and I can almost not confront doing it. Which was, if you remember, the egg, because that's the mindset. Then you tackle the chicken. Then you get going and you can do. Because what I said to my daughter when I finally took control was, right, open the computer, start writing right now. Dear blah. Start writing. And she started to type. And then she realized it doesn't have to be very much. It just has to be a few sentences. And then she realized that the same information can be applied to the next person and the next person, and that she didn't have to rewrite the whole thing all over again to create the next letter. And that looking for photos to go with the letters that related to the gift that was given or something like that was actually quite fun. And that putting all these pieces together to send the cards out turned out to be an interesting exercise and quite rewarding, because it was a little bit creative and it was a little bit inspiring the imagination. And then when they were sent, there was relief. Then what happened? That bad feeling started to dissipate and was replaced with, I've done it. I feel good now. Give me another thing to do. Where's my list? Piece of paper. Where's my list? So I can check it off. Ooh, that feels nice. What's next on my list? So you see what happened here? There was no mindset work. There was just control over the action that needed to be done. Now, in this instance, it happened to be an action that was actually quite pleasant to do. But if you're loving your business and if you're enjoying what you're doing, I'd like to think at least some of the work that you have to do is pleasant and it's going to bring you joy. Even if it isn't, the fact that you did it will bring you joy. I know a lot of us are now looking at accounts and taxes and all that kind of stuff, and that brings joy to very few people. But the achievement, the finishing of what you started, the keeping the agreement to get the work done, even if it's only with yourself, that will change the way you feel dramatically. And then because you're feeling better, you can tackle the next thing. So is it the mindset? Because you need to be in the right frame of mind to deal with something? Absolutely. Because the person who's earning $5 a week is not the same as the person who's earning $5,000 a week. No question. No question. But can you change your mindset, the way you're thinking, by taking action? I think yes. I think yes. So what's the lesson here? The lesson is that your mind can control the way that you operate, and that what you do can control the way that you feel. Balance. Now, this is what people mean when they talk about balance. This is what I mean when I talk about balance. I'm not talking about being super person, super woman, superhero, super dad, super mum, and fabulous business owner, and incredibly slim and svelte and well styled and everything all at the same time, because that's actually an impossible dream. You can't be everything all the time, 24 hours a day. You can't be 100% focused on everything all the time. You can focus your attention on one thing till it's done, then the next thing till it's done. But if you balance your actions and your thinking or your mindset and allow them to work balanced to each other, you will get a whole lot more done and you will be a whole lot happier. Try it. If you're not sure, if you don't know where to start, what to do first, just look at something on your to-do list. Phone me, book an appointment with me, email me, put a message in the Facebook group, and I'll support you and help you, because accountability is part of it. Mentoring is part of it. Coaching is part of it. To-do lists are part of it. Planning is part of it. Now, part of what I do in my business is to provide products, services, systems, tools that make everything you're doing easier, that make it easier to keep control over the people that you're running, the tasks that you're doing in all the different areas of your life. That's what I do. And the effect of that is that it makes it so much easier to keep how you feel, your mindset, because even a gut feeling is happening in your mind. It's the thought that was in your mind first that caused the response in your gut, right? Whether it be a good one or a bad one, right? So that's a thought process, or the action you take, right? I can help you balance those things out, and we can set things up that are going to make it so much easier. Okay. And I can support you every single step of the way, or I can just give you a little push to get you going. It's entirely up to you. So that's it. That's it for today. The chicken or the egg? The chicken, the action that you're supposed to take, which you're too much of a coward to do because it's too difficult because you're being chicken. Or the egg, which is the way that you're thinking, and sometimes it breaks and gets all smashed up. But if you cook it up, it'll still nourish you, however bad it looks, right? And you do need the nourishment of a good mindset in order to be able to take action. But you need to take action to feed your mind in order to make you feel good. So that's the conundrum. If you were expecting me to answer the question, what comes first, the chicken or the egg, I am sorry to disappoint. But I know 1000% guaranteed that if you pay attention to what I said today and you implement this balance that I talked about, your life will change forever. And instead of earning 5 or 5,000 or 500,000 or $5 million, you will, lost my train of thought there. You will go from earning 5 to 5,000 to $500,000. No problem. If you keep those two things, the chicken and the egg, well balanced. So, my friends, that's it for today. I would love to know what you felt about this, because I feel as though this was a really, really, really good piece of information I've shared with you. And the idea of the chicken and the egg suddenly was so inspiring to me, and also goes to show how sometimes you can inspire yourself. You don't always need someone from somewhere else. And of course, if you live with anybody at all, whether it's a human or a four-legged creature, I suppose you might have a bird, a parrot, there can be inspiration there too. So even if you're on your own, you can be inspired. When you're living with people, you can be inspired. It doesn't have to be related necessarily to your business. Everyday things can be an inspiration to you, and they can change the way you're thinking and feeling in an instant. And so can taking action. So there you go. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'm certainly going to, because I feel really inspired and energized now, and I hope you do too. I wish you all the very best. I will see you here next Tuesday. What am I doing? I'm looking for my outro here. I will see you here 11 o'clock Pacific time next Tuesday. Lots of love. Big kiss. Take care.